Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest podcast, where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Mr. Nicholas Barrett. How are you doing today?
I'm hanging in there.
Good.
You know, you can't see it, but there's a huge pile of laundry on the floor behind me. Adulting sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing all day, aside from recording, is doing laundry, because I live alone, so it's not like anyone else is going to do it for me.
There are people that moved out and they're like, oh, now I have to learn how to do my own laundry. Can't relate. I had to do my own laundry when I was 11, so
I didn't learn how to do my own laundry until this year.
Really?
Which is kind of embarrassing, but not really.
Really? It's not that hard.
I know people who still don't know how to do their own laundry, so
it's not
that
hard.
Not to name names, but
John.
My friend John Mulaney doesn't know how to do his own laundry.
You gotta fold the clothes. No, that's Seinfeld. I'm sorry.
Too busy worrying about Timothy Chalamet.
My wife is in love with this Timothy Chalamet. I can't finish that.
Speaking of Timothy Chalamet, is it too late to talk about Dune?
No, I don't think so. We're gonna get into.
Okay, I didn't like Dune. That's all I wanted to say.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Kill me if you want. I didn't like Dune either.
I don't know. It felt kind of boring. I don't know. I watched it and it felt really long. Like it was dragging. Mm-hmm. And I was not even halfway through the movie and I was like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? I slept through 10 minutes of it. I genuinely fell asleep.
Oh, no.
That's how bored I was. And then I woke up to the sound of something exploding. And I was like, oh Michael Bay, is that you?
It's interesting again. My favorite... because I saw it with my dad, and something interesting that he said was, would the soundtrack be good if it wasn't connected to the movie? And I just thought about the soundtrack where anything remotely cool happens, and you just hear, and I'm like, no, I don't think it would have been. Oh no!
I had to go back from the mic so I don't peak my microphone. I can't yell that directly into the microphone. I'll break it.
No. It's, I don't know. Dune is a cinematic masterpiece. So, I say that with air quotes. So, there's a lot of people that are now you are allowed to like Dune. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's okay to like Dune.
I appreciate it as a movie. I think they did a good job, cinematography-wise, but also, this whole thing where people are every single shot is intentionally beautifully crafted and it's edited to the perfect beat where it's ooh, boom, right there. It's cool. I don't see that at all. All I saw was a movie that was a straight climax and then it ended. There was no payoff. Now of course it's a part 1. So, maybe part 2, we'll see more of that. But I was also, misconstrued by the trailers. Where the trailers were it's going to be this huge action flick. And then it was, political dialogue.
It was just
2 hours.
The first 2 Star Wars movies, is what it was. Yeah,
exactly. And I don't like those movies.
Sorry. Episode 1 and 2. Numerical first 2 Star Wars movies, not 4 and 5.
Of course,
Politics didn't exist in the original trilogy.
So, yeah. Give us your thoughts on Dune. The DMs are open.
The DMs are... Whoa, hold on. I don't want to deal with that kind of Dune flack, okay? It's apparently a controversial opinion to not like Dune.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. That's what I'll say. Link in the description.
Please
the Nerdiest Podcast. We're posting there all the time.
You could follow us on Twitter, too, but no one does.
I
tweet at a brick wall at least twice a day. So it's fine.
That's Twitter,
although,
baby.
Listen, if any of my mutuals who are on Twitter who interact with my stuff are listening, thank you. You guys are great. Actually interacting with my stuff makes me feel good and know that I'm not tweeting in a brick wall. So
kindness.
Transitioning away from Dune, how was your week?
It was good. I was gone for the weekend. We went on a church retreat, which was really dope, but I still have not recovered. Because it was 2 full days and then time change hit And it was like,
yeah,
oh
right.
my gosh. Like, even though we gained an extra hour, I still don't feel like myself. Where, like, I'm still, like, trying to, like, get back into the week. And it's dark at, like, 5 p.m. now. So I'll leave work and be, like, ready for bed because it's just pitch black outside. So it makes me feel like I've been at work for a lot longer than I have. Because I get there at, like, 1, where it's bright midday, like, daylight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I leave when it's, like, pitch black and it feels like 9 p.m. So, overall, doing great, working on projects. I'm just trying to recover from a long weekend. We have some Thanksgiving vacations coming up soon, so we're killing time until then.
Understandable. Me? Oh, thanks for asking. Oh,
Yeah.
So kind of you.
3 minutes ago.
I've had the time of my life this week. I'm going to kind of clump in last week, too, because I went to the theater. I know I mentioned it in the My Hero Academia review, but I saw 3 movies 2 weeks ago. I saw Last Night in Soho, which was really good. I was not expecting to like it because it's a horror thriller, which are 2 genres I usually don't like. I stray away from those movies. And that movie was really good. I really liked it. Ron's Gone Wrong, which is one of those animated, it's technically a Disney movie, but it's Fox, so not really. That was also, it was good. It was pretty, like, formulaic, not like anything
But I mean, you weren't
groundbreakingly new.
going in expecting, like, the
Yeah,
next
I wasn't going
Pixar,
in like,
so-
all right, what's Pixar's next big twist? And then I saw My Hero, which was really good.
That's dope.
And what else? I'm trying to think. Oh, there's another movie I saw, which is going to be a great transition. I saw Eternals. Which,
kind of hot water in the Eternals
hot
right
boy.
now.
Hot who? Hey, ha, ha, hi, ha.
I have not seen it, but I am planning to go see it. I was talking to people last night, and I was like, who wants to see Eternals? And they're like, it looks really bad. I don't know why I'd want to see it. I'm like, it looks really bad. I want to go see it. Like,
do you care about spoilers at all? Because I could talk spoilers. Because by the time this episode comes out, it'll have been out for like a week and a half. So if you haven't seen Eternals, so that's kind of your fault.
Do you want to...
but not really.
Do you want to talk, and I'll take off my headphones?
I can, yeah.
Or do you want to do no spoilers, or do you want to do spoilers? And
Well,
I
I'm
just
trying to
won't
think.
listen?
If we don't do spoilers now, I don't know when there'll be another time when I can go back and do spoilers.
All right, so
and it'll
go
be
for...
relevant.
All right, I cannot hear anymore. Go for spoilers.
Okay, so if you're listening and you don't want to hear spoilers, I'm going to go ahead and I'll put a timestamp in the description for you to skip past the Eternals spoilers. So for Eternals, I didn't like it personally. I know Jackson said he hasn't seen it. I didn't like it because it felt like a really long, jumbled mess. Most of the characters were dull. Kamal Nanjiani's character was great. I think he was easily the strongest one, but then in the end, when he just kind of left without saying anything and then never came back until like the very end, that was kind of lame. Cersei and Icarus were... I don't know how they wanted me to feel about that relationship because she had a boyfriend before Icarus came back, and it's like, are we supposed to be rooting for her to stay with her current boyfriend or leave and go with Icarus? I'm not entirely sure. And also, like, I don't know, none of the characters were really, like, I never felt engaged with any of them. So, I don't know, there was that. The plot was just kind of meh. Like, I don't know, I didn't enjoy the plot. It was very bland. That's literally the only thing I can say about this movie. It's very bland, and it feels like Marvel's filler episode before No Way Home. Like, I think Eternals could have and should have been delayed to next year, because I don't know how many Marvel films they have coming out next year, because there was nothing in Eternals that really made me key in, like, oh, this is important for us to see before No Way Home, which is why it's squeezed in right before No Way Home. Kind of like how Captain Marvel was thrown out right before, like a month before Endgame. And we were like, okay, well, this is kind of important because we need to know who Captain Marvel is before we go into Endgame. So that at least felt like it was supposed to be there, whereas Eternals just feels like it was supposed to come out earlier but got delayed, and instead of delaying it to next year past Spider-Man, they wanted it to come out before Spider-Man, which is gonna hurt Eternals ticket sales next month when Spider-Man comes out, or even in a couple weeks when Spider-Man tickets go on sale. So I don't know what they were expecting in this movie. I think even like direction wise, like the director did an okay job. Like it wasn't anything spectacular. So I will conclude by saying it's not Marvel's worst, but it's nowhere near their best at all. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Eternals. It was an okay movie, and if you want to see it, great. If you don't want to see Eternals,
Wow,
it's fine.
What a great take. I
know.
Wow.
Just a solid
Great.
like 3 minutes of me talking about Eternals.
You see, it's the first rotten Marvel movie on Rotten Tomatoes, so.
Is it? Was Thor: The Dark World not rotten?
Hold on. I don't even.
Everyone's saying it's like the first rotten movie, and I'm like, no, I think.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes at all.
Well,
so
no one should ever trust Rotten Tomatoes. They
haven't
been accurate.
The audience score is pretty telling on Rotten Tomatoes.
On Eternals?
On Rotten Tomatoes in general.
What is I think Eternals, like the audience score got an 86.
Yeah.
Which I think is generously high. Hold on, I can look. I ranked it on Letterboxd in accordance with the other films from 2021 that I've seen. And also it got a star rating. And all I'm going to tell you is out of the 26 films I've seen that came out in 2021, Eternals is number 25.
Wow.
It is one from the bottom, and I gave it 2.5 stars, which looking back on it, I think is incredibly generous.
Now, so here's my question. Now we're going to do this in like the year rewind in general. What's the bottom?
The bottom is The Green Knight.
Wow, that bad.
Which I saw way back. Which everybody gives me flack because they're like, it's A24. It's supposed to be. And I'm like, no. It was not a good movie.
Stop associating studios with movies. Studios can make bad movies.
Like
The Eternals. But Thor Dark World...
Look at that. Marvel made a bad movie.
Thor Dark World has 66 on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
That movie sucks.
And that's not considered rotten, is it?
Nope.
Wow. Eternals got like a 40 something, and it was considered rotten. So Thor too, just barely escaping rotten
50 and below is rotten, if I'm not
That makes
mistaken.
sense. I know Cars 2 got a rotten score, but I mean...
But it's Cars 2, so...
I mean, we can't really trust Rotten Tomatoes.
No, we really can't.
No.
What's next on the list? MCU
I wanted to
recap.
say how welcome to this episode. It's MCU recap. I do want to say, if you are listening on Spotify, go in the description of this episode, and there should be a question there. Something along the lines of, like, what was your favorite Marvel content this year? If you want to answer it and fill it out, leave it there. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you think is the best. If you think Eternals is the best, drop it in there. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
If anyone enjoyed Eternals, I'm not going to say, oh, you suck. Like, if you enjoyed Eternals and you got enjoyment out of it, that's fine. Liking movies is very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't do much for me. I didn't think it was good. As a film student, there was stuff in there that bothered me, like the ADR was off for certain scenes, and that kind of took me out of it.
ADR?
So, I think it's additional dialogue recording or automated dialogue recording. It's when they have to go back over.
Oh, when they dub over audio.
Yeah, when they dub over actors' takes and stuff.
But also, the director for Eternals is like an award-winning director. I cannot pronounce her name. I'm sorry, but
I think it's Chloe Zhao.
Chloe something. She directed like Nomad and like all these like crazy films, and so like, yeah, she's an award-winning director. Don't give her a superhero big FX movie. Like that's not her style. Don't just expect her to make anything great. Like
it got announced this week. She's set to direct Kevin Feige's Star Wars film.
Really?
Yeah, which I think could be interesting because like the direction. I mean, I said it was okay and it wasn't great, but I think there's definitely potential. Like, I think most of the problems with Eternals came from the plot, not necessarily like the direction. Could it have been directed a little better? Probably. but you know, there's always room for improvement, even among like the greatest movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on how you want to look at it. Moving forward, I think, and I'm not going to say much because you haven't seen it, but Eternals and Loki kind of contradict each other, because Loki was all about like, oh, we're going to find Kang and like all that. By the way, there will be spoilers for like the rest of the Marvel stuff that has come out this year. So I don't know, deal with it. But yeah, Loki was like, we're going to find Kang, the guy who runs all of time, right? And Eternals has like the Celestials, which like created the universe. And it's like, so the Eternals the Celestials created Kang, and then Kang controlled the timeline of how, like, because like if there's this sacred timeline, right? So he just allowed the Eternals to do whatever in the sacred timeline. Like that was all part of that. That's what I don't understand. Like, Marvel, I'm going to need you to explain it to me like I'm 5. Because I feel like we just figured something out to an extent with Loki, and then they were like, okay, so we're gonna take this bowl that you've already like had your perfect smoothie, and we're gonna add more ingredients to it and mix it up again. And now you're gonna have to figure it out again.
It's like I need to like do the research of like how it works in the comics, because they're not just like pulling this out of a hat. This is all comics. So like it's supposed to make sense.
Yeah, it's supposed to make sense, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Eternals for too long.
No,
so
Eternals, go watch it.
Go watch it, get an opinion.
Get a campaign.
If Dune is your favorite Marvel movie, put it in the Spotify. So
what's your favorite Marvel movie from this year? Dune.
Dune.
My favorite.
Has Drax the Destroyer. It has Poe Dameron. It has there's more. Aquaman. It has all
one kid from Stranger Things.
All my favorite Marvel characters.
I do want to say, last thing about Eternals is there are 2 characters. One of them can fly and shoot laser beams out of his eyes.
That's Superman.
Which is a very Superman thing. Like, it's literally Superman. But what's funny is one of the other Eternals kids says, like, oh, that's Superman. Because, like, he can fly and he wore the cape and shoot stuff out of his eyes. And I'm like, wait. So the DC Comics exists inside the universe where Marvel characters are real? Wait. Are you implying that the DC characters are real too?
This is the ultimate like power move for Marvel. Is they're like, our characters are real, but in our universe, your characters are just fiction.
I think this is Marvel setting up for them to just straight up buy Warner Bros.
Low-key.
In a couple years, and then just redo the DC universe and make it a different multiverse from Marvel.
We need better new Harry Potter movies. So like, if Disney wanted to buy
no more Harry Potter movies. We're done with Harry Potter.
Just no more Fantastic Beasts movies. We're done.
Leave Harry Potter alone. You're done. You're done.
No, you're done. You're done.
You're done.
So the Falcon and Winter Soldier, am I right?
Oh man, what a segue! Wow, 10 out of 10 on the segue right there, brother. Okay, so I wanted to come back and talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier again, because how do I put this? We went really hard.
We did.
On Falcon and the Winter Soldier after watching the first episode. Well, actually, I can't remember. Did we say it was going to be bad, or did we say it was going to be really good? I think we said it was going to be, like, okay.
Yeah.
And I remember. I wasn't super excited about it. Because I watched the first one, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell off for a while. And then, I think for me, at the midpoint, it picked up. And then, it kind of just, like, at the end, it wasn't that good. Like...
Yeah. We just kind of wanted to revisit it, because we never gave final thoughts. It was all, like... just thoughts from the first 2 episodes. So the Falcon and Winter Soldier serves a purpose for its characters. So it's really they did a good job with like Bucky and Sam Wilson. But I feel like it was a movie that was turned into like how many, like 6 episodes? Was it
Yeah, it was 6. It's the shortest. Well, actually, no, it's not the shortest one that came out this year. But
all right, hold up. Now I gotta know. I feel like it could have been a movie, and it was just like
yeah,
a lot
it
of
could
the
have been
story.
like a 2-part movie or like even one movie. Like it could have been Captain America 4. Like I know they confirmed it with Anthony Mackie as Captain America, which I don't think is a bad thing.
No, I don't either.
I think the show did a lot of good things for the characters, like, you know, making Sam Wilson Captain America. I really hate that they gave him a niece and nephew, or like they gave his sister kids just solely so that they could call him Uncle Sam. I don't know. I feel like that joke didn't need to be in there, but you know, it's fine.
So
I'm sure the writers got a kick out of that one.
So you froze for me for like 10
yeah,
seconds.
I know.
And so all I heard was, I don't know if they needed that joke in there, but
yeah.
Wait, what
it's
joke?
It's fine.
I was like, what joke?
The one about him having a niece and nephew so that they could call him Uncle Sam.
Oh yeah.
Like his sister having kids just solely so that they could call him Uncle Sam.
That was so corny that I was like,
the writers got a kick out of that one.
They're like, that was great.
Knee slapper down at Marvel Studios. Man, guys, we're writing banger after banger.
Whose dad snuck into the writer's room for that one? Like,
maybe actually no. The trick is that all the writers were dads.
Yeah, it's about 6 hours of content average, like about, because it averaged like 50 to 55 minutes per episode. So just like 6 hours of content. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it could have been 2. I don't know if that's a hot take. I feel like it's like the most looked down on series that we've gotten from Marvel.
It is.
I will say they did a great job with their villain, because it was like, oh, well, I hate his guts. Why? Just cuz. I hate him. Hate his face.
Just cuz. He's just a bad guy.
Hate him. Hate him so much. And it's like, I feel like that was actually like kind of impressive. Like they just gave us a guy that we hate, and like no, like don't overthink it. We just hate him.
You love to hate him.
You love to hate him.
That's all you can say, really.
I also feel like, yeah, go ahead.
John Walker is just the worst. Like, everything he does is the worst. Everything, like, just as a character, he's the worst. And they start off like kind of sympathizing with him, like at the very beginning, where they're like, he's got all this pressure, you know, to be Captain America. There's a lot of pressure there, which is true. Because Steve Rogers did do a lot of stuff as Captain America, but at the same time, it's like, well, that doesn't give you a label to just be a bad guy. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It felt kind of formulaic, and it was like, I feel like every episode was like its own thing, and like it was like, this episode this happened, and then this episode this happened, and then this episode this happened. It was just like, it wasn't a series to me. It was just a series of events, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
it was a bullet point of events they needed to have.
There was no flow, and it was just kind of what they had so they could transition Sam into Captain America. And I see the point they were trying to get with, like, it was pretty political, and like I think, like, I see the point they were trying to make, but I think just character-wise, Bucky really deserved that shield. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But like, I'm excited for the next Captain America movie. I think Anthony Mackie is going to do a great job.
Me too. Although apparently Anthony Mackie didn't know they were doing a Captain America 4. Like, from what I heard, someone just walked up to him at the grocery store and was like, "Oh my gosh, are you excited to be in Captain America 4?" And he's like, "What?" They confirmed what? Captain America 4. Like, you feel like that's something you would want to talk to the actor about first to like make sure.
Yeah.
What if he was like, "Yeah, no, I think I'm done. I don't think I want to be Captain America anymore. I think I just want to quit." And they're like,
It's so funny. And then
I've already greenlit and paid for all this stuff. So
yeah. If Loki wasn't as good as it was, like, Marvel would have been screwed. If they went from WandaVision to Falcon and Winter Soldier to Loki, like, they would have just been toast. Like,
Loki totally saved them this year.
Loki's,
it went from Loki to Black Widow, and then I was like,
then what, Shang-Chi?
Yes, Shang-Chi.
And then I'm So White.
It's
and then it went from
trust me, I thought it was Shang-Chi 2. Shang-Chi 2. then in the movie they pronounce it Shang-Chi. Which, great transition again. What did you think of Shang-Chi? Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think movie-wise, not show-wise, it's the best thing they've put out this year.
Now,
although we don't have No Way Home yet, but
we don't have No Way Home yet.
It's still going to be up there, even after No Way Home.
We'll talk about that. But when Shang-Chi came out, I was like, all right, it looks good. I'll go see it. And I saw it, and I think it's a really good movie. Like, we rarely see Marvel's origin stories anymore. A lot of it is just like continuations of characters that have been established for like 15 years. So it's a really good origin story, and I'm really excited to see more of him. Because they really did leave it open. And Awkwafina is one of my favorite actresses. I think she's hilarious. Everyone did a great job. She was
really funny in the movie.
It's not my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I think there were a couple parts that I was a little bored. But the soundtrack was incredible. All the fighting was incredible. I'm excited to see more. I give it, like, it's not my absolute favorite, but I had a great time watching it. I kind of have a funny story when I saw it in the theater. We have 2 theaters in town. We have the nice theater and the crappy theater. Well, the crappy theater was the only theater that was showing Shang-Chi before like 11 p.m. And we all wanted to go see it. Imagine not having a
Regal or an AMC.
Cringe. Phoenix Theaters for life. So we go to the crappy theater, and it's the first time I've been there in maybe 10 years. The last movie I saw there was Rango. And they've completely redone the theater since then, but it's still not great. You know when you go to the movie theater and you're like, yeah, I'll have a small, and then they give you like a cup like the size of your head? Mm-hmm. Well, I ordered a small soda and a small popcorn, and it was essentially... Remember when you would go to the movie theater when you were like 5 years old and they'd give you the little box that had like the little bit of popcorn in it and like the Dixie cup?
The tiny cup? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got when I asked for a small. And so I was just like, that was good.
One piece of popcorn every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that way it lasts me the entire film.
That was pretty comical. Yeah, that's my story. And then the theater sucks. I'm never going back there. Their sound system is completely in the front. So I was like, I felt like I was just watching it at home. Like it was, I may have enjoyed it more if I had a better theater experience, but I still think it's like a solid 4-star movie.
I mean, by the time this episode comes out, it'll be on Disney Plus.
Ayo, in the IMAX
for free. I think that's really cool because, which I'll give my thoughts on Shang-Chi in a second, but I think it's really cool because we haven't really had theatrical Marvel movie releases since Disney Plus launched. So I think it's cool that like a few months after they're in theaters and like they let them run on DVD for like 2 weeks and then they drop them on Disney Plus for free. That's pretty dope.
That's pretty dope.
Because if they didn't, I would not have watched Shang-Chi again. Because like, I only go out and buy DVDs for like my favorite movies of all time. Like I have a Blu-ray of Weathering with You, and and I have Blu-ray of Empire Strikes Back and all that. So I don't go out and buy Blu-rays for every single movie.
They're so expensive.
They are very expensive, especially if you're not gonna watch them all the time. And I also have a handful of friends who didn't go see Shang-Chi in theaters, but they have Disney Plus, so they can watch it now before No Way Home comes out. Not that it's important to the plot. Okay.
It kind of is because Wong is in it. So
I don't feel like anything this year really connected to No Way Home. And albeit we haven't seen the film yet, and we've only had the one trailer. If anything, it feels like everything this year connects to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which comes out in May next year. Because you got Wanda messing with the multiverse, you got Loki messing with the multiverse, you got Spider-Man messing with the multiverse, like, and then Doctor Strange messing with the multiverse, and I was like, okay, gang, we gotta fix it. So I feel like everything's building up to that, which is crazy because they're like, No Way Home is the end game of the Spider-Man trilogy, and I'm like, And this is just like even more build up to Multiverse of Madness. What you mean, homie? What?
Yeah.
What?
That's an interesting point. But like, yeah, Doctor Strange is like the guy this year apparently. So maybe even we'll see some of What If connect into where it's like.
That's
now,
what I heard from other people. Is they're saying, what if the Guardians of the Multiverse show up in No Way Home? And I'm like, no.
Now you see,
it's not gonna get that connected.
Maybe in the Multiverse of Madness we'll see like the Watcher for a second, but I don't think. Yeah,
No I don't think they're gonna do like that level crossover, but
because it's still a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
like it's not a Doctor Strange movie.
Exactly.
But there's other series coming up. No, tell us about Shang-Chi first.
Okay, so Shang-Chi, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It was kind of low on my radar for a while.
Well, they did no promo. They did no promo.
I don't know what it is. Disney marketing team's like off this year.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Because like I went and saw The Last Duel in October. No marketing whatsoever. I saw one trailer in the theater like in June, and that was it. Nothing. And then Ron's Gone Wrong, nothing. No advertising whatsoever.
I didn't know Ron's Gone Wrong existed until it came out. Like
the only reason I know it existed is because I'm like tuned into animation Twitter. So yeah, I don't know what it is with their marketing team this year. They promoted the crap out of WandaVision. Like they would not stop promoting WandaVision.
Good.
And then they promoted Falcon and the Winter Soldier a little bit, and then they
Loki.
didn't promote Loki at all.
Loki, I felt like Loki had some promotion.
I feel like well, maybe a little bit. I don't know. When Loki came out, that was right around the time I got YouTube Premium, so I stopped seeing ads.
Disney Plus ads on YouTube are crazy. Like
they are.
Like I have Premium too. But like I'll use other people's computers or on like TVs that aren't signed in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these Disney Plus ads are insane.
I want to know the marketing budget for Disney Plus. I really do. But anyway,
yeah,
Shang-Chi. I went and saw it because I had the Regal Movie Pass and I could go see it for free, in air quotes. And I really loved it. I thought the fight choreography was really good with like all of the martial arts and the 10 rings, and I think it was really interesting to see that one guy from Iron Man 3 come back. What is his name? Trevor Slattery. Yeah, he was just kind of there. And I think, and I put it in my Letterboxd review, I was really worried that Shang-Chi was going to be one of those movies that's like, oh, it's our post-Endgame, like we're kind of in a slump right now, like our movies are going to be okay. No. Shang-Chi, like, definitely gave me hope that like the rest of the Marvel movies were gonna be good. Which if I had seen Black Widow before Shang-Chi, then that definitely would have picked up a little bit.
Yeah, we've already talked about Black Widow.
Yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on Black Widow, go back like 2 episodes, 1 episode, I don't know.
It was just part of an intro. It's there somewhere. Just listen to all of them.
Yeah, just listen to every single episode, all 52 of them, and then this one again. So yeah, Shang-Chi, really good. I really hope we get to see more of his character. The actor himself, I think, what is his name? Like Simu Lee?
Yeah.
He seems like a really cool guy, too.
He does.
So
I
don't follow him on Twitter, but I've seen his tweets, so.
You keep talking about this. Someone just got back with tacos. So keep talking about this.
Man's gonna go eat tacos? Okay, I'm gonna go on my rant about No Way Home.
Go on your rant. I'll be right back.
I have an impassioned PSA for anyone with No Way Home. Okay, first of all, no spoilers here, by the way. I'm not going to spoil anything because I feel like this is, and as they've said, an endgame level movie. So, watch out, because there are some serious leaks going around the internet. Now, I don't know by the time this episode goes up if they will have been taken down or if like they'll have disappeared, but I will say there is some serious leaks out there. Now, there's debate on whether or not they're real, which could be up in the air, but regardless, if you don't want to know anything about this movie, I would either stay off Twitter entirely or go on there and mute all of the words related to Spider-Man No Way Home. I have Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. I have like all of the actors' names blocked. I I even put in like some characters who were supposed to have cameos in the movie. So I'm just trying to protect myself, and I would also caution everyone listening to also protect themselves, because this is not the kind of movie you want to be spoiled for. I'm actually going to avoid the second trailer, assuming it hasn't come out yet, because I heard somewhere that like Regal has the second trailer, but they haven't like started airing it yet, but they have it to put in their like their new trailer cycle for the holiday season, which I assumed it would be out with Eternals, but I guess not. So yeah, just caution yourselves, watch out, and beware of the leaks, because I would hate for anyone to get spoiled on something of this scale. How long does it take a man to get some tacos? Oh.
I'm so sorry. I hate needing to eat on podcasts. But I have to leave for work like right after this, so I don't have time for lunch.
No, it's fine. I literally was sitting here and I was like, how long does it take a man to get his tacos? No, while you were gone, I cautioned people to watch out for the leaks for No Way Home, which is part of a broader problem. But see, I wanted you to be here because I feel like you have input.
I wanted to hear it.
Marvel has a serious leaking problem with No Way Home, and I want to know where the issue in the chain is, because like last year, for Mando season 2, obviously Luke Skywalker was the big cameo at the end, and we heard nothing about that. No leaks, no rumors. Like we heard rumors of like, oh, Ahsoka might be on there, or all these other Clone Wars characters. Nothing on Luke Skywalker at all, and they kept that tight-lipped over at Lucasfilm. But Marvel, like, all this stuff is going on about No Way Home, and it's like, oh, Tobey Maguire's gonna be in the movie, Andrew Garfield gonna be in the movie, it's gonna be great, Daredevil gonna be in there too. Oh man, all these leaks are coming out, and I'm like, how does something this big, like a multi-hundred million dollar project, by Marvel and Sony, how does that kind of stuff leak?
I think maybe
I don't understand.
Part of it. Now to go back a little bit, I looked it up. Disney Plus marketing budget from 2021 to 2022 went down by 39%. So their marketing budget like really went down in this last year, which is crazy. But
they must not need it then.
Yeah, this year they're spending $238 million on advertising, which is pocket change. But
well, yeah, for Disney Plus, considering I think they finally crossed 100 million subscribers.
They did. Congratulations.
On Disney Plus.
But also, the YouVersion Bible app just got 500 million downloads. So
yeah, so get on our level. Take that, Disney. Bet you can't hit 500 million, can you? Well, knowing that by the end of like 2024,
I think
it'll be the most subscribed streaming service.
I think part of it might, I don't know. I kind of believe the theory that like it's like they're intentionally leaking this stuff as like a hype builder, but also my personal theory is that Kevin Feige hired Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire to put the Spider-Man suits on so that they could stage some photos from the movie and then put them out as leaks, air quotes, and then be like, oh my gosh, guys, look. And then neither of them are in the film at all. I don't even know how leaks work. Like, how...
Yeah, I don't know how that kind of stuff gets out. Like,
do you have... Like, I remember when Netflix was going to make a Zelda show, they had a crew member leak it. And that's why it was canceled. Because Nintendo was like, no, we can't trust you. So, but I'm thinking, like, surely all these crew members and cast, like, sign contracts.
Oh, no, you have, as far as I know, in the film industry, whenever you sign on to a project like that, you have to sign an NDA that says you're not going to tell anyone. Like, if I was working on Doctor Strange 2, right, I would have to sign an NDA. I can't get on the phone with you and be like, oh my gosh, Elizabeth Olsen was on set today wearing this, and this is the plot. I mean, I could probably say, like, oh man, Elizabeth Olsen was, like, on set today. That's crazy.
Because it's confirmed
but I couldn't
that she's
tell
there.
you... Right, I couldn't tell you specifically what scenes we shot or what the plot is or any of that, because that's covered under the NDA. And also, as far as I know, you're not allowed to like take set pictures. Like, you're not allowed to pull out your phone and take pictures. Yeah. And I mean, maybe you are, and they just like expect you not to post anything. But it's also like, if you post something on your personal account and Marvel finds out, they can just be like, who posted this? Nicholas Barrett? What role is he on this film? Okay, he's fired. Yeah. Like,
but also,
so
I think
that's mostly why people don't. And they send it to outside sources.
Yeah, there's a lot of shady practices of like, they send it to other people, then delete it off of theirs because it's like, oh, well, there's no tie to me to this.
Right.
But it's just like, all of the pictures are always like really blurry pictures of like studio monitors that I'm like, I'm just confused. Like, why do we think any of this is real?
Yeah.
And like, do you wonder why no one's found Bigfoot? All the pictures are super blurry. It's because it's fake. Because it's like, if it's crystal clear, it would have to be real.
Yeah. And there was a deep fake of Andrew Garfield on set that came out a couple months ago. But then like it was proven fake. Like, it was so real, everyone, myself included, was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Andrew Garfield's in the movie. But then like, no, this is a deep fake of like Andrew Garfield on the set of one of his own Spider-Man movies, like from years ago, that has just been cropped and edited to look like it's brand new.
Corridor Digital is a really good like VFX YouTube channel, and they did a whole breakdown of some of the leaks where they're like, yeah, they like looked like deep into the lighting and like positioning, and they're like, yeah, none of it's real. And even
another thing is like, people are so, maybe this is the wrong word to use for it, but people are so thirsty for this movie. Like, these leaks come out and people are analyzing, like the Andrew Garfield deepfake. People analyzed what he was mouthing, like, because there was no audio, and they were like, oh, he's saying this. And I'm like, how desperate do you have to be? Like, you're so impatient for this movie that you have to find this out. And like, people tore that new poster apart, which of course, you know, whoever's running the actual No Way Home official Twitter needs a raise, because they are just like memeing everything, and it's hilarious, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, no, they're killing
it. But like,
it.
I don't understand. And someone put out, which I quote retweeted, and people actually agree with me. They were like, that new poster was lame. Here's a fan one that I made that would be so much better than what we got. And it really wasn't that much better. And I quote retweeted, and I was like, you're just spoiled. You don't know what you want. You had your expectations set to 1,000, and Marvel came in at 100, which is where you're supposed to be anyway. And now you're like, oh, well, it's lame because they didn't meet my personal expectations for this movie. I'm putting in my bid right now. Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be one of the most divisive Marvel movies ever made, because it is either going to live up to every single expectation that everyone has set for it, or it will like do its own thing and be great in every way imaginable, but it won't meet any of those expectations, and people will hate it.
Yeah. No, I think that's extremely accurate.
Because
it's like because Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire have both publicly come out and say they have not contacted me at all to be in this movie. Now, of course, the big question is that just an act? It's like, no. I think you're safe to say it's going to be an incredible movie that they're not going to be in. Like who? They didn't even, like, this entire thing was fabricated from fans. Like, there was nothing that pointed to this that was official except the multiverse and the Spider-Verse. Like, that's it. Like, we need to really think hard about what has been officially confirmed, and like really think about, is this real?
Which, here's the thing. Does Marvel want to do a live-action Spider-Verse movie? Because, like, not only did you have the first, like, Into the Spider-Verse, but there's also, I think it's either Across or Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is the sequel that comes out next year. Like, do you really want to put a live-action Spider-Verse movie in between those two? I don't think so. And I don't think Sony would go for that. Because it would feel repetitive. Also, insider note. Apparently, Sony Japan has said that if these new Sony Marvel movies do not do incredibly well, Sony will be forced to sell all of their Marvel properties that they still own back to Disney for like all their Marvel stuff. So, which of course I don't think that deal is going to come to pass because the movies they have left before that expires is No Way Home, Into the Spider-Verse 2, and Morbius. As far as I know, Morbius, it'll do okay. But Into the Spider-Verse 2 and No Way Home, yeah, you're covered with those. No, and Venom did really good too. So
it did. I could care less about Morbius. I don't like Jared Leto, and I don't like Sony movies.
Whoa, you don't like Jared Leto? Nope. What? Who are you?
Okay.
So yeah, I think No Way Home, which of course we're planning on doing a whole episode about it because I feel like it'll be worth it. Mm-hmm. And assuming we do that, I can't wait to come back and see whether or not I was right on my prediction of it being divisive. Because like you look at the fans on Twitter and they're just so like clamoring for every leak and every possible thing, and I'm like, why would you want to go into this movie knowing every single thing? Like, sure, you can want to know if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in the film, but wouldn't it almost be better if you didn't and you were surprised when they came in the movie? Like, I don't know. Also, it seems like a lot of money and budgeting to get like 2 essentially A-list actors in your movie alongside a bunch of already A-list actors, and like you have to bring in actors from like all of the villains for the other movies. Like I don't know, it just seems like a lot of work, and I don't think Marvel's gonna want to do it. Would it be cool if they were in there? Yes. Will they be in there? No. Maybe. I'm gonna say maybe because I could see a universe where they do it, but I also could see a universe where they really just focus on Tom Holland.
Now, Marvel,
which is what I think they should do because it is his Spider-Man movie.
It's his movie, and I don't want to pull too much attention away from him because he's so good. He really is. Like, looking back, he's the best Spider-Man. He's my personal favorite Spider-Man because just he does such a good job, and I think that it's kind of doing him a disservice to like make this less about him because, like, you know, he really deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah. And also, like, this is technically, like, air quotes, his last Spider-Man movie, at least in this current contract. So I feel like adding in 2 more, because, like, oh, I dropped something. Even if you put the other 2 Spider-Men in this movie, it's not like they're going to come back and be in any other movies. It would just be a one-off. There's no way.
That's it.
Like, there's no way they're going to be like, oh, yes, we're finally going to make The Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. No. It would be a one-off cameo for this movie alone. So there's no point in trying to sign a contract for those 2 actors. Just focus on Tom Holland. There's so much to resolve in this movie. Like, obviously, it revolves around him being like, hey, everybody knows I'm Spider-Man. Can we undo that with this spell?
Total Iron Man parallel, if you ask me.
Yeah. And he has to resolve all this stuff with MJ and
Aunt May. He's still not
Aunt May
over
and Happy
Tony.
And like obviously, you know, everyone thinks he's a murderer because he quote unquote killed Mysterio, and like so there's a lot to resolve even without adding in 2 more Spider people. So I don't think they should be in the movie, but I can see a universe where Marvel pulls that and says yes they are.
So here's what's interesting. Do you remember when the trailer for No Way Home came out? I'm sorry, these are the spiciest tacos I've ever had. So
dang,
I'm like dripping. So my face is dripping. So
respect.
Do you remember? Do you remember when No Way Home trailer came out, and everyone was like, "It's so weird. He just like, oh, people don't like him, so we has to go to the wizard to change, like." Everything about his life, and everyone was like, oh, that's so dumb. But then recently, like, Tom Holland did an interview where he was like, yeah, No Way Home is no fun. He's like, it's going to be brutal for the characters that you love. And so I'm honestly a little nervous to watch No Way Home because I think it's going to destroy me. It's going to destroy me.
I heard a rumor about MJ, and I
Not
don't
the
like
rumors.
it.
Not the rumors. I'm curious.
I'm not gonna say anything just because, like, for the sake of having no spoilers, whether or not it's true. I might tell you off air, but I'm not gonna say anything on here. But if it's true, man, this movie is just gonna cause me emotional pain.
I think, based on the trailer, here's my prediction. I think this is the end of Jon Favreau in the MCU. I think they're gonna kill Happy.
No,
That's
they
my
can't
prediction.
kill Happy.
No, I think
He's supposed to be happy.
you see, it's an irony thing. He's
Do you
how
think
could
they
they kill
Aunt
him?
May?
Here's what's interesting. Doesn't
Because here's the thing: someone's gonna die in this movie.
I think a lot of people are gonna die in this movie. So
I don't think they'll kill any of the main three. They're not gonna kill Tom Holland.
No.
They're not gonna kill Zendaya, and they're not gonna kill Ned.
No.
I think those three are safe.
I think they're safe.
Anyone else? Well,
No,
and
they
Doctor
could-
Strange and Wong. They're
and
not gonna
Doctor
kill those
Strange.
either.
Do you think Wanda will be in No Way Home? I don't know.
I think she might be in a post-credit scene. I think there'll be two post-credit scenes. The one after the credits will be Wanda showing up to the Sanctum Sanctorum, or like Doctor Strange going out to find her, I think it'll tie in either WandaVision or Loki to the next Doctor Strange movie, because that is the next Marvel movie.
Or both.
Is Doctor Strange. So
Maybe both.
I think, they might, pull the tongue in cheek, and the first post-credit scene will be Doctor Strange being like, Wanda, we need to do things. What are you doing? And then, I don't know if Loki will get involved because they're doing like Loki season 2. So, I don't know. Maybe he goes back to Peter and is like, hey, Peter, we got to go fix the multiverse. And then the post-credit scene is Wanda. I don't know. We'll see.
Morty, we have.
If I called that post-credit scene, man, I'm gonna just start leaking stuff myself.
Marty, it's not about you. It's about your kids. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything.
Wait, no, we got to talk about Hawkeye because it's on.
All right. Okay.
I would say we could skip. It's on the thumbnail. So, I want to say I'm very excited for Hawkeye because they are normalizing playing Christmas music before Thanksgiving.
Facts.
So, they're doing a 2-episode premiere in, I think, next week? 2 weeks, maybe? Actually, no, I think it's next week from when this episode comes out. It's next Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it looks good. It looks better than I thought it was going to be. I was really worried it was going to be lame because Hawkeye is one of those characters like, Not that they did a bad job with him in the MCU. I think they did a good job, but I also think it was one of those shows that could have easily gone south, like Black Widow.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
he's one of those characters that's like, ooh, do we need a whole thing?
He
But
doesn't
no.
have a.
And also,
Yeah.
it seems like they're really setting up for Haley Steinfeld to be the next, like, Hawkeye. To kind of like, it's like the transitional passing of the torch.
Yeah.
So they can put Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye in the background and have her be the next Hawkeye. So whenever they want to do the new Avengers or whatever, you got Black Widow's sister, you got Haley Steinfeld's character, you got Iron Man's daughter. Like, that's basically what all of these movies are, is transitioning into
A new.
your
age.
phase for new movies. Yep. So I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes. It's set during Christmas, so like it can't be bad, right?
Right.
I'm gonna regret saying that.
No, I think Hawkeye's gonna be really good. I'm a sucker for family dynamics in movies
That's
and
true.
shows. So I think his whole thing of like, that's why I love John Wick so much. That's why, don't look at me confused. John Wick has family dynamics. His wife,
Okay.
his dog. That's a family right there, my guy.
Whoa. Okay.
No, I think his character kind of deserved better. When was the last time we saw him? Endgame?
Hawkeye? Yes. He was talking to Wanda at the end of Endgame. That was the last time we
Yeah.
saw him.
So I think we kind of need. I'm hoping it'll be good closure for him, so we can like, not to say like I don't want to see him more, but like do we need more of him? And I think Jeremy Renner's kind of like out the door for Marvel. So I'm hoping we can get like some good closure for him as a character, so that we can move, like you said, move into Haley Steinfeld's Hawkeye or whatever character she is. She has a name.
Yeah, I don't know what her name is off the top of my head. Actually, I should probably Google it. Now here, to connect as we wrap up here, to connect Hawkeye to the No Way Home chat, the new the new trailer for Hawkeye came out, and like someone in the trailer said, "Oh, is this an Avengers level threat?" And everyone's like, "Oh my God, Hawkeye's gonna be in No Way Home because she said the Mysterio line from Far From Home." And I'm like, no, it's just a meme. Like, oh my God, you guys suck.
Marvel understands the meme. That's what's funny. They get it. And I think that's part of the No Way Home stuff, is they're like, this is hilarious. Watch them squirm. Look at them shuffle for leaks while we're just here making a great movie. Kate Bishop.
That's who Haley Steinfeld plays, Kate Bishop. It's funny because I thought Kate Bishop was her name.
And they're like, nah.
I was like, nope, my bad. My bad. Google also said she plays Hawkeye, and I'm like,
question mark?
No. Spoiler? Question mark?
Also, Rogers the musical. Yes, please.
Oh man, everyone was like, "Are they going to make it official?" They are.
When will that be on Disney Plus?
When will we get the full pro shot stage play of Rogers the musical?
Lin-Manuel Miranda as Captain
America? No. We're done. Okay. I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, but we're done. We're done with Lin-Manuel Miranda. He has put out like 4 movies this year.
Yeah.
That's too many for one man. Like,
he's so talented.
Also, listen, okay, you can say he's talented all you want, and as much as I love him, I think he needs to quit. Well, not quit, but I think he needs to take a break.
He needs to take a break.
Because he's literally been typecast, is what he's been. Because every single thing he's in, which there's nothing really wrong with this, because, like, I don't want to sound racist, but, like, he's only been in Latino stuff, which, I mean, I think he is Latino, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he was born in the Philippines. I'm going to stop before I get myself in trouble. But, like, he was in the Heights, which is a Latino film. He was in Vivo, which was a Latino film. And now he's in Encanto, the new Disney movie, which is a Latino film. And I feel like...
Where's the variety?
He is a very talented singer-songwriter and just person in general. And limiting himself to this one genre and category
characteristic
is too limiting. So, I don't know. And Hamilton? I also feel like Disney just has him on the end of their chain. Like, Lynn, we need new songs. Get over here. Start writing.
Remember when you made Moana? That was great.
Remember when you made Hamilton like 6 years ago? Do it again.
Remember when it
Jefferson
won
the musical?
Remember when it won an Academy Award even though it's 3 years old?
Oh yeah, remember when it beat Bo Burnham's Inside, and I'll never forgive the Academy Awards for that.
That's why you want Lin-Manuel Miranda to take a break.
Yeah. All right, let's get Bo Burnham writing all of the new Disney songs.
Let's go.
That would be an interesting movie. Bo Burnham writing Disney songs. Ooh.
PG-13.
So as we wrap up here, because that's all we have. That's all we have today, folks. So I want to ask you, and then you can ask me, or actually I'll go first, and then I'll ask you. What have you been watching recently, and what will you be watching? For me, I said in the last episode that I was going to finish Invincible and finally start Squid Game, and I am proud to announce that I have finished both. Invincible was good. Squid Game is overrated, and I will not elaborate anymore on that.
Okay, then.
My next watch is, I'm currently watching Scissor 7 on Netflix, which is a Chinese anime. It's actually really funny and really good. And I think I'm finally going to start the depression train that is known as Neon Genesis Evangelion. So stay tuned to see how that turns out.
Hey guys,
I pass the mic to you, sir.
What I've been watching, You Got Me. If you would listen to the sitcoms episode, he got me, and I'm now 10 episodes into New Girl. He got me so good. He's like,
let's go.
Got me on the New Girl train. So I've mainly just been watching that. We have one episode left of The Good Place, and I'm so sad to see it end. This, like, you have to watch The Good Place. It's on Netflix. It's only 4 seasons. You could probably watch it in less than a month.
So what are you talking about? I could watch it in 24 hours.
That's physically impossible. But I watch it at 2 times speed.
I watch it at 2 times speed, 1 season on each monitor.
It makes sense. I just connect the dots as it goes. But the finale is like an hour long, so we're like kind of struggling to watch that. So we just watched 30 Rock while we process the finale.
Let it go. Let go of 30 Rock.
No.
Embrace literally anything else.
No! 30 Rock is funny!
Okay. Whatever you say, boss. Actually, you're not the boss. I'm the boss. Well, we're co-bosses.
We're co-bosses. You sounded like Jack Donaghy there.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening today. If you want to stay up to date with the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast, or tweet us at Nerdiest Podcast. If you have feedback or a question you want to submit, you can do so through the Contact Us page on our website. And don't forget to check the description of the Spotify for the question of the week, which should be like, what is your favorite Marvel content, or what are you looking forward to, that kind of thing.
Well, yep. Thanks for listening. If you want to... If you enjoy what we do here, consider giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere else you listen. You can also share this podcast with your friends for word of mouth. It's the best way for us to grow. If you want to share this episode with your friends and say, hey, some fun Marvel content, and then a guy eating tacos halfway through, go ahead. It really is a really great way for us to grow. It's just you telling your friends, and I hope you really enjoyed.
I'm leaving that fumble in there, by the way, just to show how disorganized for this episode we were. I promise for the next one, we will be more organized.
Yeah.
And we will be, well, actually, you know why we'll be more organized? And I hate to say this is the reason we'll be more organized. It's because Megan will be here. She'll keep us from, eating tacos and stuff on podcasts.
The timing was off. I have to leave for work in like 10 minutes. It's a whole thing.
Technically 3 minutes, so...
I can be late.
I can be late for my job. It's fine.
It's just my job.
It's just
whatever.
My job.
Great.
Again, thank you for listening, and we hope to see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Bye.